I do not think that all Trump voters are racist, and I didn't say that. I have friends, I have family, I have colleagues that voted for Trump, and so I don't think those people are racist. I think they're good people, and I can't see inside people's hearts. But what I will say is, Trump ran a campaign on otherism. He ran a campaign about birtherism. He ran a campaign about Muslim bans. He ran a campaign calling your father not really a true war hero because he wasn't captured.
Mexicans,
because he was
don't forget
captured. Mexicans are racist. He has a history of housing discrimination against African Americans. The Gold Star families he went against. He says that he can grab women by the vagina. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So when people hear that and look the other way, and not only look the other way, but vote for him, regardless of their personal motivation, whether it be race, whether it be personal financial gain, I think you're somewhat complicit in that, because you don't have to be a racist to allow racism to flourish. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a bigot to enable bigotry. You don't have to be a racist to allow racism to flourish. And so when I said 3 million other people saw what he was talking about, and they didn't look the other way. They decided, I can't support that. And you know what? It does make me feel better at night. And it makes me sleep better at night. That was my point.
Yeah, got it.
That was my point. Is it clear? Is it clearer now?
I think we view the election, I agree with some of what you're saying. I think that, with all due respect, I spend a lot of time in Red America. I think I understand the Trump voter, and I think to say that they're complicit, there's a lot of people that felt really left behind. I think this election was about poverty. You also said something about Andrew Jackson having a photo in the White House being a siren song or a virtue signal. I don't remember exactly, but something about...
For the viewers that didn't see that, you know, Donald Trump, when he was talking in front of the code talkers, the Navajo Nation, he was doing it in front of a portrait of Andrew Jackson, who was the Indian killer. And he chose to have that portrait in his Oval Office.
And I said it was bad optics, but you said it was a signal. And I think for me, it's like sitting here being like,
well, why
if you have a picture of Andrew Jackson up, that means that you hate Native Americans.
But why him at that particular meeting?
Can I tell you something? It is, I'm trying to explain my people here on the show every day, and it's an intense challenge. It really is. I try very hard every day.
Which are your people?
And
which are your people?
I consider red state people my people.
Yeah. Hold on.
You didn't vote for Trump.
I did not vote for Trump, but part of it is because of a personal attacks on my father. I couldn't reconcile those two things, but I do think that...
People can't reconcile his racist remarks sometimes.
Why do you think
that are of color?
About the
Wait, hold on. Let him finish.
I'm sorry.
I'm really trying, I try every day to explain Trump and his supporters, and I think that I feel like after Obama's election, I tried very hard to understand why he won, what we weren't doing as Republicans, all these things, and I don't think the same respect is being done to Trump, no matter how much you hate him, and I get it. Trust me, I get how much everybody hates Trump. I understand. But I'm just saying, you are doomed to repeat the same mistakes that you did in 2016 if you think it's only about you're complicit as this voter, you're whatever, and you don't have to listen to me, but I tell you, before I joined the show, I watched your Election Day episode. I was not shocked in the same way that you guys were by Trump's win. I was not surprised.
You weren't wearing a black veil like Joy?
You weren't shocked as well.
But
that's true, you weren't shocked.
Yeah, no, I wasn't shocked. But here's the thing, really, at this point, he is in there. And I will tell you, I don't hate anybody. I really dislike him because what he did, he didn't have to do. He didn't have to come in the way he came in. He didn't have to come in swinging like that.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. But I will tell you this, and I'll say this before we go. Unless did everybody say what they had to say?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
I think it's
thinking.
But I also
great
think that, like, a
conversation.
lot of people know and please jump in, Joy. Like, a lot of people hate Mike Pence and Paul Ryan. I had a conversation with him on the train that was like, I don't know who's worse, Trump, Mike Pence, or Paul Ryan. And when you call Bush Hitler, when you call my father Hitler, when you call Mitt Romney Hitler, at a certain point, if you cry wolf long enough, the beast shows up. So I'm sitting here telling you that we have to find some common ground here, and I try every single day, and I feel like I'm failing right now.
You aren't.
No.
Megan was saying that she really does try hard to bring a different perspective, and I have to tell you, you do.
You do.
And it's important for you to know because, you know, people assume that who they see is who they are. You know, I'm a person who believes in a woman's right to choose, but I also have an over and under shotgun and will take you out if you're on my property. You understand? Well, I just want to, because it's important to know that we are mostly, even in states where they say it's all red, it's all this, we are mostly shades of things. We evolve and we change.
Layered.
And what we can't do as Americans, regardless of where you live, is let the media dictate how you feel.
Yeah.
That is something, and they'll say, well, that's a red state or that, but we know that lots of different people live in lots of different states. So it is, again, up to all of us to continue the conversation. And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it gets a little, we get like this sometimes. But we're here to try to do it, to show that it can be done, and that it can be done with women, because, they always say, oh, women can't do this, can't do that. We're here to say, yes, it can be, and it is incumbent upon us as American citizens to do our job to get out and make voting a priority again.
Right.
Forget all this other BS. Those are the things that are going to be incumbent upon us.
And that's the thing, and I want to say this to you too, Megan. I mean, this is a hard job. This is a hard job to discuss your views, to try to explain in 5 minutes or 1 minute how you feel and how the rest of the country feels.
Without being interrupted every second.
Yeah,
Also.
and I think,
Like just now?
And I've told Megan off camera, this is a unique table. This is like being initiated into sorority with 20 people, right?
that.
21 people. And
I never was in a sorority.
and the only people that understand what it's like are the people that are sitting here. And I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
This is what I will say is I worked at Fox for a long time. It's fun working at Fox when you're a conservative because everybody agrees with you. But there is a point that Trump's America has changed things for me in a lot of different ways because I do feel like I don't believe in echo chambers anymore. And I think working on this show is important because obviously showing that perspective. But Trump makes everything so hard for traditional conservatives. I've been a conservative while he was, giving money to Chuck Schumer. And it makes everything hard, and it's hard to watch Roy Moore because I feel like the people watching at home are like, well, she's a Republican, she must agree with pedophilia. I am a Trevor Project Award winner for my advocacy work with the LGBT community. How do you think that makes me feel?
I give our viewers, Megan, I give the American public more credit than that. I don't think that people think because you are a conservative Republican that you agree with everything that Trump. Well, I don't. But I give people more credit than that. I mean, people are not one-dimensional. Of course you wouldn't support that.